Four.
You record? Okay.
Yep. Hello, guys, and welcome to another YYC community community interview. I'm your host. My name is Bruno, aka Superman, aka the Sam King, and I'm here with two really talented video afterwards with the Somboon and Gonzales, and they got a new marketing company called Federal Collective. So hey guys,
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I might be a bit frozen.
Yeah, you were frozen.
yeah, you
So,
I can tell now. I can tell now.
Yo, honestly, I thought you were asleep.
Yes, with the eyes open.
Yeah, I
did
like.
you heard him? Did you hear the introduction? Okay.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
hear everything. It's just my camera freezes. So
Okay.
forgive me if that happens. The internet has been a bit spotty on my end. Maybe it's just, I don't know what's going on, but the internet has been a bit spotty.
Yep. I feel ya. I feel ya.
Sounds
But yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah, we're a video production company, and yeah, we're called Perla Creative Co.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before getting started in the interview, I need to ask, what have you guys been up to when I was your quarantine?
I'm going to let Lisa start on this one.
Okay, fine. Yeah, honestly, my quarantine has been pretty good for the most part. You know, I've had my days where I'm like, this kind of sucks. Like, I'm a massive introvert, and so like it's helped a lot, and you know, I'm kind of used to it. But yeah, no, I've been like productive and doing my best to learn new skills and like take some courses and like learn investing as well, just on my side, and then just building my YouTube channel, and then also working on the business with Ralph and planning and building a content library as well on that end. So it's been productive for the most part, and yeah, just trying to make the best of it, really.
Yeah, it's been a similar experience with Lisa, but on the other hand, I'm the extrovert. She's the introvert. So this has been, it's been like part dream, part nightmare. Like best way to phrase it on my end, just because it's been one of those situations where it's really forced me to look inward and learn lessons that I wouldn't have learned keeping up the pace that I used to. But at the end of the day, like it's been a lot of learning. It's been a lot of like taking time to actually think things through, and then really investing a lot more in just kind of like the things that I wish I knew when I first started. So it's definitely been that kind of experience under the whole quarantine situation. But at the same time, it's been hard.
Oh,
Your
can't hear you. Can't hear you.
yeah.
Wait, stop. Can't hear you. You're mute.
Okay, here's the thing. If I end up cutting out again, just raise the hand and that'll let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Cool. Same as everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, just before my internet kind of crapped out on me, I was just saying that being an extrovert through all of this has been pretty difficult. It's been a lot of learning, and Lisa's definitely been keeping me on my ass for learning, which is great, because I'm not gonna lie, like aside from the existential dread this has been causing me, it's been great for learning and education and just moving forward. So
yeah,
definitely been helpful.
Good, man. How about you, Lionel? Like, what have you been up to? Like, how has things been?
They've been really hard, and like for most of us, yeah, that's really tough time to like adapt to the new norm. But we all know we're doing it for the greater good, and we're doing it for everyone to keep I'm like what about my youth as for you, so I get my energy from people, and it's just really difficult to like not seeing people that you usually see every day or not going to work. It's just a little adjustment getting into this new routine. But
Mhm.
yeah, but but anyways, during quarantine, have you guys been taking videos or photos at all?
Yeah, we've for like parallel, like we both have been creating videos, and we're gonna move towards photos because it's easier and it's less work and less intense, right? But
True.
yeah, we've been creating videos. I've also been creating videos for my personal YouTube channel, just for fun, and yeah, just doing that really.
Yeah,
True.
it's definitely been like whenever we get a chance on the off time, that's when we do it. Just because that we have a lot of stuff planned that we want to carry out with with parallel, but then for our own personal stuff, we haven't really had much of a time to create because I don't know, like it's kind of shifted for me where making content now for my own self has become a little bit more of the relaxing side. Like I haven't been shooting photos or haven't been really shooting all my own videos, but I have been animating, and that has
Mm-hmm.
been that's a little skill set that I've been working on in the background of all of this.
Yeah,
That's so cool. And like speaking of creative videos, when did you guys first started making videos?
I guess I can start with this one on my end first because I got Lisa to start the last time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I first started doing videos in 2014. So way back then is when I started experimenting in videos when I was first a journalism and broadcast student at Mount Royal. Like originally did photography when I was like since I was 16, and then I transitioned into video back then at 2014. So yeah, it was really interesting because I didn't think video would be something I would be really into. I thought it was way too complicated and it had a lot more things to deal with. But the more I started practicing, the more I started to get like starting to work on cool projects like music videos, weddings, short films, and like even competing in competitions with them. It's been pretty solid. Like it's definitely given me experiences that I would never trade just because a lot of those experiences made me really kind of realize how lucky I was to be able to get to do them doing video.
Yeah, and then I started doing video. I actually started doing video first back in 2016. I had like a backpacking trip booked. Or sorry, scratch all of that. I actually started doing GoPro videos back in 2014. Like it didn't last that long, but yeah, I bought my first GoPro for my first backpacking trip and just made like montage videos, and then I got back into it again in 2016 when I had another trip booked, and that's when I got like really I went deeper into it. Like I was doing blogging just for YouTube, just documenting my travels and stuff, and then I fell in love with it more, and so I kept on using it just to take adventure videos and things like that, and then eventually people started reaching out to me to do videos for them, and that's how it all began.
That's
So
so cool. And question for you, Lisa, where did you go backpacking at?
so I went backpacking. Really, my first two backpacking trips, I just went to all of Southeast Asia. So I traveled. Yeah, like I'm originally from Thailand, so I went back there, of course, to visit my family there, and then went to Burma, Vietnam, Singapore, and
Dang.
Philippines, Laos, Indonesia, and some other places I can't fully remember yet, but those are definitely some of the main ones that I went to.
So, guys, more on your travels and what you can answer that too because I never been into the Philippines. personally, and I was planning to this later this year, but the COVID-19 will it derailed my plan. So, in your guys' opinion, what is the best place to take photos and take videos in the Philippines?
Honestly, everywhere. Yeah, beach. You guys have like how many islands? I think it's like 7,000 islands or something. Like
Yep.
you guys, like you have endless opportunities to take photos and videos there.
Yeah, it's
And
the big thing
like,
about it. It's like how many places and locations you can travel. Like tourism, there's tons of island hopping, dude. That's
yeah,
been definitely one of the coolest things about the Philippines that not many places have, is where you just hop on a boat, pay the tour guide for like 200 pesos, and then or not even 200, like not 200 pesos, like our equivalent of almost like $30-$40, and you
yeah.
can pretty much go to like spend an entire day hopping from island to island that's only like maybe 25-45 minutes apart.
Yeah.
So definitely take that kind of tour.
Yeah, and there's like islands where you can camp
Yep.
and basically isolate yourself from the others. You know, they have resorts and yeah, like campgrounds on the beach. Like that's something I definitely want to do
Yeah.
whenever I go back.
And it
So,
depends on what you want to shoot too, dude. Like you have
yeah,
the mega rich areas in Manila that are like highly architectured. You have like the
yeah,
very island resorty up in the northern provinces. You got mountains and wildlife that's available there too. That's hardly ever seen in the Chocolate Mountains. And you even have
yeah.
one city that's still designed in the way of Spanish, what you call it, Spanish Inquisition or Spanish Acquisition in the 1500s
Yeah.
or 15th
Oh,
centuries. So they still have like cobblestone rocks and pavements, and like the houses
oh,
that are
that's
built like
cool.
Spaniard houses.
Oh, dang. On it, the guys are making me feel so bad about our situation right now. Let's let's go down and move on. I wanna know what is your guys' creative process like? Because I know in my own experience, creating videos is a lot of work. So what is your creative process like?
Are you talking about like individually, or is just like as a
And
company as a whole?
let's go with individually and then move on to as a company as a whole.
Well, individually, my creative process, uh, I just get like inspired like when I watch other videos that actually have like an impact and like can personally help me, and I get inspired by that. And then also music, just listening to music. You know, when I'm doing work, I have music in the background, usually like deep focus type of music, and that's the music that I love. It's my favorite genre of music, and then I just get inspired by that. And then yeah, like sometimes when music plays, I just have like all of a sudden like flashes of visuals in my head to be like, oh, this would look pretty cool with this certain music. So that's my creative process, really.
Yeah, like I have a very similar process in myself as well, but the biggest thing for me is I like it may sound really cheesy, but you want to capture a moment is the best
Mm-hmm.
way to kind of represent my mind when I think of videos. Because when you're out somewhere and you are by yourself and you really allow yourself to be present, you can hear everything. Like you can hear the birds outside, you can hear cars moving about. And if you can really find yourself in that moment, you can set your emotions and you have those things that you focus on that you're like, that's what I want to see, that's what I want to hear. And then when you start to have those feelings for you, that's when I feel really inspired to
Mm-hmm.
capture that. It's because it's like it's recreating those experiences, those emotions, those things that I can replicate in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And what as a company is it different how you approach it in a company standpoint compared to
Yeah,
your individual?
I would say
Oh,
so. Just because when you do it as a company, you have a lot more responsibility to uphold the client first before
mhm.
you take anything on your end. Because, you know, as much as you want to inject as much creativity, individuality in whatever you're making for somebody else, they may not have that same value in what you're bringing to the table. So let's say, you know, you make something that's, you know, filled with a lot of sounds, sound design, soundtracks. It's a very strong montage video and it's a really strong sizzle reel. But would a client appreciate that if what they're doing is they want to build a training video for their company? Like they
Yeah,
may have all the flash and movement, but at the same time, is that what they're looking for?
Yeah,
like, and is it going to make an impact on their business as well? So, and that's something that, you know, we have to do a lot of the pre-production and the strategy side of things before we push that record button. And like, you know, Ralph and I have really done like a big shift in how we do business. Like these past couple of months, like we've gone through some like high level sales training and all that kind of stuff. Like we invested in that, and yeah, now how we approach it is very different.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, we spend a lot of time in pre-production and strategy, and really ask the client like, hey, like what's going, like what's happening, like what does success look like to you, you know, what's stopping you from achieving that success.
Yeah. And
So it's
the
just
big
a
thing
big
too is like,
question.
it's it's also when it comes to working with projects, the creative process that we would have to undertake is really knowing the client's taste and
Mm-hmm.
what to them is what they hold important, right? Because what we may see as beautiful and very immersive to them can be too flashy, too much, too soon.
Yeah.
yeah, and I totally agree. Like with like you need to for a company like yourself, you need to produce content that fits the your client needs and as well as their values as a company too, right? Because that their values and what they need, the what they need, like dictate what success is for them. And speaking about your company, what is very well go about and what do you guys value?
Our values.
Yeah,
um
Good. Like
it's a good question.
I
Yeah,
can take on the beginning of this. So some of the biggest things that we've learned to really value on our end is honestly the understanding of how a voice is found and how to be able to help other people find their voice as well. Because a voice right now, especially at a time like this, having a voice online, having a presence online is crucial for any business, any brand, any individual. Because not only is that voice that you have online now a copy of what it's like to be with you and to work with you, but it also is something that people will experience or people will expect to experience when they first meet you. So one of the biggest shifts that we've had, especially in the way that we've kind of done things previously to now, is we've come to really understand how important it is to not only build trust and relationships,
Mhm.
but also the value of really being there for your client, for your community, and just making sure that you show up.
And you continually show up, like even when times are tough, like you continually show up and like serve your customers and your community, because yeah, like people will remember if you showed up or not. And when you show up when times are hard, or when you don't show up when times are hard, like just it's you're gonna slowly lose that trust, and that is something that you don't want to lose ever.
definitely. and like building like in order to like build a successful company, you need to build that trust and relationship with your client because like number one rule, like I know everyone say it and it's kind of cliche, but the number one value should be the customer. The customer is always mostly right, and I'm like, yeah, and like it's kind of hard for like customers to like know what they want, but it's for you guys to help them figure it out, right?
Mhm. Completely agree.
Yeah, we need to figure out what they're going through first. Like what problems are they currently facing right now?
Yeah,
And really understand that side of their business first.
exactly. And I wanna say like like during this situation, economic downturn. So and you guys are a new company, really risky to like start running your company this during this situation, but can you tell me like why the company work with you?
Like, why should they
Yeah,
work with us?
yeah, give me a little bit. Like imagine me as a potential client, lo- uh, local business. Give me your bit of why I should work with you guys.
Well, the thing is, we actually don't have a sales pitch.
Yeah, we
We
really don't.
don't. You don't. I mean, how can you pitch something without knowing the business first? It's like you go into a doctor, you sit down with them, and then all of a sudden the doctor's like, "Hey, we're gonna give you this medication that will reduce your headache." But then it's like, but then you're like, "I don't have a headache, I have a stomach issue." So like it's just kind of like that. So you have to go in with, or your sales pitch like doesn't, it can't have like an agenda, because you just need to ask the right questions first and listen to the customers and like what their needs are first.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. I think with sales in itself, it's, yeah, there's a lot of cool things out there, but at the same time, to sell or to kind of put an agenda on someone else, even though, you know, you haven't taken the time to get to know them, to start building trust with them, it makes it that much harder. And in the end of the day, like, starting a company right now was a little bit of a risk, but at the same time, Lisa and I both knew that this is something that is essential for businesses. Like, it may not seem essential right now with all of the other costs that are out there, but at the same time, building a presence, showing up, being there for your customers and clients, working on your voice, building on your brand, all of that stuff is important, especially for right now, because at the end of the day, that's how people can prepare for the recovery. So, you know, for us to really try and tell someone to work with us, it's really not that thing. It's more along the lines of, you know, can we see and get to know who you are first before we want to work with you? Because we know the strategy of now, like from our end, we've really understood and built on strategy so much that we see how video could be so much more than just, you know, from point A to point B. It could actually be a problem solver for long-term growth and impact. So that's where it could be.
Definitely, and I totally agree with you. Like your basic saying, like before, like going up to like somebody, like pitching, you're being like, "Hey, we will work together. We're gonna make a lot of money." Before doing all that, you need to like build a relationship first. And that is like the simple rule of networking or like getting a job somewhere. You need to build a relationship first before going into business, because like I would, you know what they need, and not only knowing like their needs, knowing that like their needs will address your needs as well as a business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like having a business is a long-term thing. And relationships and trust really help sustain that long-term uh, long-term outlook.
Yeah,
So
it's no longer, transactional is the best way to describe what's going on right now.
yeah,
In the world right now, it's transactions are no longer a thing. It's more community. Like, you know, especially with what's going on in the pandemic and social distancing, everyone's become hyper local. Everyone now has to rely on each other for those immediate services because there's a lot of fear and a lot of restrictions with global companies, reaches, that kind of stuff. So a lot of us are having to really focus on and be connected together with what we have around us. And so this is just the way that, in my opinion, not only has the pandemic caused, but it's the direction where business and companies are moving towards.
yeah,
And I
this is
totally agree with you. Were you gonna say something, Lisa?
yeah, I was
Sorry, I
just
cut you off.
oh no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Zoom does that. But yeah, I was just gonna add that like businesses are having to move into that digital space. There's that quote saying that like if you're not online, you don't exist. And that is definitely more true than ever, especially during this pandemic, right? Because a lot of these businesses have shifted into doing online deliveries, online orders, takeouts, and all that kind of stuff. And then you see businesses who didn't have an online presence, like they're completely gone. Like you actually don't hear from them. And like there's a few businesses in downtown that I love, and I don't know where they are right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I feel like social media, I feel like it gives, like what you guys were saying, it gives everyone a voice to be heard, because and right now we really need that.
Yeah.
And although you guys talk about community and having a voice, and I know like with you two, you guys work with local business, lots of local businesses in the past. So what is important in a marketing campaign for a local business?
Sorry, can you ask that again?
So what what do you guys think is an important factor in a marketing campaign?
Hmm. The most important factor in a marketing campaign.
See, this is where it's really on our end a little bit difficult, just because as much as we ourselves are put into that position of a video strategy for campaigns, this is kind of defined a lot more through what the client is expecting and what they're wanting, because depending on what their translation is for what they want to see happen from that campaign, that's where we're kind of wondering on our end, what does that mean for them? Like, does that mean they want to save time? Does that mean they want to have more visits through the door? Does that mean they want to have better outreach and more community relationships?
Mm-hmm.
That's as much as numbers are important. I believe defining what success means in the beginning before anything's even done is just as important as results.
Yeah, and that's where we really focused on the pre-production and the strategy planning beforehand to to create that like custom like solution for those clients before we and then get those results for those clients.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And like I think I was gonna ask you this before, but my mind is just gathered right now. But you guys work with a lot of local businesses. So why is supporting local important? Even during this, especially during this pandemic.
Well, I mean, we're locals, right? I mean, we live in the city, so I mean, we should be supporting the city we live in, and we get immediate, you know, access as well from these small businesses. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing about it too is that, when you're supporting local and when you're supporting people who are in the same area as you really have a deeper connection with what you're getting. That's the nice thing about it that I feel gets lost when we go, globalized, because you don't often get to hear the stories. You don't often get to see the process. You're not given that extra level of investment when you invest in local, because when you get into the local side, you get to see it feed, like you get to see sometimes a lot of the payback. Like you can see companies who are supporting local charities, and what you're doing is feeding other people in that area that you are in, that you are part of. You're reinstituting, not only your faith and belief in your local area, but it also revitalizes the people in it as well. So continuing to support from within can help with the global impact as well.
Yeah, and I totally agree. But I heard just one argument that you only support local businesses if you like them, because there's some pretty, like, what is the nicest way to put it? There is some pretty, like, pretty, some local businesses that I wouldn't personally put that foot on because of their values.
yeah, I mean, it's just like making a friend or having friends, right? You don't want to have friends who don't share the same values as you or don't respect you, or they have, you know, they act immorally or they have bad ethics or whichever. It's just kind of like that with the business, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, to kind of add on to Lisa's point too. It's like I do agree to her area where it is like making friends, where there are things that you will connect with. Not everyone's meant to connect with everything. Like
Yeah.
if you're a business that tries to be everything for everyone, in the end of the day, that's just not going to work out for either you or anybody you're trying to get to. And that's why it's very important, especially for business owners and locals and everything like that, is to do what you enjoy, is to support what you enjoy. It's to continue doing what you see benefits and helps other people. The only time that I would ever go against that is if it actually causes harm to another human being. But in the end of the day, that's long term. Like you have to think about it from that as a business owner and as someone who supports local. Is this something that you want to see grow and build in the community, and is spreading their name, their word, their product, their service going to be something that enriches not only your life but others as well?
yeah, Ben, I totally agree with you guys 100% because everyone is different. Everyone got different values, and as a humans, we need to support one another, but then again, not support anyone that is causing harm to other people. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You want to
and
have
like,
good people around you, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like, don't name me names or anything. Like, a few restaurants that me and Bob went went to, like, they don't, like, we can honestly say, like, mm, some restaurants are really good with their customers, really, like, value you as, like, as people, and really value your opinion. And some local restaurants don't value people at all and often mistreat other people. So
Well, let me clarify something. I still think those guys were learning and in their beginning. There's a reason why on my end I didn't take any action because to err is human. So, at that same time,
yeah,
like businesses are people. They will mess up, they will make mistakes, but as long as they own up to it and understand that they're going to do something to fix it, that's the next level right there. That's the true response. It's
Yeah.
those businesses who, in my opinion, who have stood silent, who haven't really done anything to really clarify, understand, or even just explain what's happening are the ones that, in my opinion, are the hardest ones to deal with.
yeah. And to clarify what I'm talking about, I'm talking about that the businesses that have a hard time doing it, and the businesses that everyone knows it's bad, but they don't think their way.
Yep.
Yeah. And I got one more question that I ask everyone, because we're in a pandemic right now. So I got to ask, like, a lot of people, including myself, are dealing with a lot of mental health issues during this pandemic. So what message would you tell people that is having a hard time dealing with the new normal?
Well, you just have to accept that it's happening, um, and change like your perspective on it. Like, I know it's negative and it is scary for a lot of people, but yeah, I mean, you can just look at it as an opportunity, to get into doing something that you actually love. People have more time in their hands. Start journaling. I started journaling the beginning of this, and it's actually helped me. And I know that I built this habit, and I'm gonna be doing this for like really for the rest of my life now. Journaling and also reading, and then building that routine as well, and making sure that you get ready every single day. Like, don't be in your PJs or anything like that, because you're a completely different person when you get ready. That's just for me personally, and that's how I've dealt with it, and it's helped me.
Yeah. Like in a similar sense to the way Lisa kind of discussed, it is a new norm. And for myself as an extrovert and who's used to always being around other people, who's used to going out and starting their day by actually being outside and all of that stuff, we have to remind ourselves that the world that we used to live in is no longer here. That the way that we measured our productivity, our mental health, our routines, all of that stuff, that measurement is no longer here for us to measure against.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot beat ourselves up for not being as productive as we used to. We cannot beat ourselves up for not making as much money as we used to. And we can't beat ourselves up when we don't get enough time to spend with our friends, family, and other relationships as we used to. This is the new norm. This is a new world. And the best thing that we can do is take it day by day. Doing the one small thing that that will lead you to something bigger is the brick and mortar you have to start with. You cannot keep putting, that comparison in your mind, because in the end of the day, that's only going to make the time feel longer. it's only going to make things harder for you, because you keep putting yourself at a area where those things that are put in place for you to be able to achieve that kind of success in productivity, in relationships, they're no longer there. So you have to make do with what you have, and really celebrate and cheer for what you're able to accomplish just by with what you have right now. We have to be patient with all of this, and we can't allow ourselves to get lost in not only the pandemonium, but the fear and the panic that the world is experiencing right now. Yes, it's incredibly difficult. Yes, a lot of people are suffering and facing a lot of things right now. And yes, what I'm saying is easier said than done. So the biggest thing that, you know, you can take with taking it one day at a time is being kind to yourself.
Yeah, just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, continue the routines that you generally do anyways if all of this didn't happen. And you know, it is temporary, and like we're gonna go back to a new normal when we can
Yeah.
go out again. Things for sure would be changed, and yeah, you just have to just shift your mind, I guess, and you know, just take care of yourself for the
Yeah.
most part. Eat healthy,
Yeah.
you know, work out, go for a walk, go outside, you know, and just small
Outside.
steps like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, and I totally agree. And I heard that from another interview I did about like he got a mindset about every day that passed by is another day closer to freedom, because we cannot get bored in yesterday. We need to look forward instead of looking back. With adult, it was well beautifully put.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah,
was.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, I can hear this. I'm
But
just
you're
frozen with my face.
yeah, your eyes are like half open.
Yeah, like, are you falling asleep? Am I that boring?
No, you're blowing my mind. See, that's what's going on.
I got that effect on people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I wanna thank you guys for taking this time to talk to me about photography and helping out with the community and how to start your own business, how to approve business in general. So, thank you for taking the time to like talk about those stuff with me. And where can the people find you?
Or our company website is www.parallelcreativeco.com, and same as our social handles.
Yeah.
And then me personally, I'm at Lisa Somboon for Instagram and YouTube.
Yep. And I am Ralph. So RV. So instead of an A, it's a V. LPH.video at Instagram. But really, at the end of the day, if you can get a hold of our company at any of our social handles, you'll get to us.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And
Thank you for having us, Lano.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
no problem, man. I wanna tell you once get it over, we're gonna go back to shooting again
Yep. For
Yes.
sure.
in the
Yeah.
mountains. I will bring gloves this time.
Good. I don't want to be carrying your purple hand.
Okay, see ya, everyone.
See you, and
Yeah.
yeah, stay safe and healthy, guys.